What it do, baby? This is the Big Dog Talk. Welcome to episode 13.
It is.
Boom, got it.
So what it do, baby? We back at it. We just had that fire intro.
Come on, talk about it.
Episode 13. Here we go. We back at it. I got my boy Ramos.
Yeah,
You know
I'm
Lamar.
ready.
We here. Let's just go. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So we're gonna talk Jayson Tatum. We're gonna talk Embiid talking a little crazy. We're gonna talk Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray out for the remainder of the year. We just got some interesting stuff. So here we go. Start us off right. You start us right off. Let's go.
Okay, I want to start us off with first I want to start off with the Jamal Murray, the Murray take. And it kind of leads me into this question that I was just now thinking is because of the shortened season and because of, so many games and so many amount of days, or we've seen a rampant rise in injuries. And I know that we just saw this, Jamal Murray one, but we know how Brooklyn is pacing themselves. But what are your thoughts on, one, the Jamal Murray injury, and two, do you think that is connected to the heightened season and how quick the turnaround was?
So a little bit of both. I think COVID played a big part of this season. Them knocking off 10 games does nothing for me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it does nothing for them as well.
Mhm.
What's 10 games? I think you should just cut it right in half or just not have the season,
Yeah.
especially after a quick turnaround. The injuries have been bad this year, like
Bad. And knocked Embiid out of the discussion,
He's back in it, but
Yeah.
you're right though. So COVID injuries, but I mean Jamal Murray's was a freak accident.
It was.
He landed and it just buckled.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been seeing that Mark Cuban just came out and tried to say something, Luka, but they scared to play Steph Curry and them boys.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Injuries has played a big part in this year. And now that they got to play in, things get more serious. I mean, look at the Joker. He hasn't even missed a game.
I think we have some certain Iron Man in the leagues right now.
Yep.
That are pressing through. Braun's only not because of his age, and AD's out, and so there's just no reason for him to play. KD's ramping back up his stamina. I think if Harden really didn't tweak his knee, he would keep playing because he's a gym rat. So I think you have those players that, if they're healthy, and Jamal Murray was one of them. He wasn't trying to sit out games, so that's why it kind of hit hard for their team. I heard they're trying to sign Austin Rivers.
I think they did tonight.
Okay. Congratulations, Austin Rivers. That's a great starting position for him.
Yes, it is.
I didn't.
Yeah, that's a starter, like you just said.
Yeah, I was watching Stephen A. I'm gonna stop saying his name, but I was watching him say a take of like his reason of why they won't slip, and he was like, because that means Jamal Murray was taking 16 shots, and he said that means there's more shots for Will Barton and Michael Porter Jr.
Which I do like the Michael Porter Jr., the Will Barton.
Me too, but we're talking 16 shots. Like Michael Porter is going to get 6, but even if they take both of those shots, even if they both took the 16 shots, their efficiency isn't there. Like that's not the same. So it was just the dumbest take I've seen in my face, and I just turned it off right there. Literally turned it off. I was like, I can't even stomach anymore.
Yep, I agree.
Sometimes they just be wild. And which brings me to my next question for you, and I want to leave this into your court. Who had the bigger impact, Wilt Chamberlain or Steph Curry?
The bigger impact, this is a no-brainer, Steph Curry. The greatest warrior, no-brainer, Steph Curry. Steph Curry will go down as a top 10, maybe top 15, because thinking about it, it's tough to knock out, that top 10 list, but he's going to be borderline top 12. Greatest shooter of all time, hands down.
Yes.
33 years old, got 3 rings, and did it all homebred, didn't go nowhere. They came to him and just broke the record. Well, not just broke the record, but no, I'm going to say nobody. But in the near future, nobody's breaking his 3-point, 10 3-point a game What do you
Yeah,
got?
for sure.
18?
Yeah,
Nobody's breaking that.
that's a good minutia stat that nobody can really break until
And
we
I know
bring it
you're
up.
gonna say, "Oh, Will Chamberlain averaged 50 a whole season."
I didn't say anything yet.
Oh, okay, great, and he did, and that was awesome. But he was a 7-1 freak back then in the 60s. Now,
Of course.
Steph just broke it. It took Steph a long time,
Yes.
but not really. You know what I mean? He's shooting a hell of a lot of threes.
Yeah.
And one thing that Wilt never did was win a ring with the Warriors. I rest my case. Let me drop the mic.
So I'm not mad at a couple of your takes because I think that he definitely changed the game, and we're just asking who had a bigger impact. My logical brain can't wrap my mind around how I heard an analyst start with the statement of Steph Curry changed the game from a 3-point standpoint. Correct. Will literally changed 5 rules to make the game what it is today.
But Will isn't even
And then
big man.
we're talking about who is okay. So let me finish. you wilded. I don't think he's the greatest. I don't think he's the greatest big man, but I think he deserves to be in the conversation of that. And I think he doesn't get brought up because we're talking about rookie of the year. We're talking about NBA All-Star Game MVP that same year. Then we're talking about 4 MVPs. Then we're talking about 1 Finals MVP to Curry's none, 2 NBA championships. We're talking about 7 NBA first teams to Steph's
6.
Yeah. So we're talking about, Steph got 3 NBA champions, 2 valuable players, 7 NBA All-Star. We're not even naming Wilt's All-Star because that's a misnomer. Why does that even matter? 3 NBA first team for Steph. Only 3.
Tough,
2
in the
2
West.
NBA second team, 3 NBA second. I mean, tough in the West. I mean, I know. And we're talking about errors. We're talking about more teams, but it's hard for me I'm a logical and factual person, Lamar.
Can I say something real quick?
Let me just finish.
Hold on.
Go
I
ahead.
don't want you to give me things that he got for other teams. I want you to give me his tenure with the Warriors.
No, who was the most impactful player? Not for the Warriors, player.
Oh, see, I thought you said
No, bro, player. That's what the conversation was. They weren't even saying.
More years to go though. Steph still got at least 4 more.
Let's talk about it because even with 4 more years, you're just talking about 3-point. You're not talking about points overall. Like Steph's washed in all those categories, so he's only got 3 points to we're talking about, and I'm saying Wilt did that for 3 franchises. He was the Steph for 3 franchises. He was the Michael for 3 franchises. He was the Kobe for 3 franchises with no help in the same league.
He played with Elgin Baylor
when he was old. So we're talking about
Famer.
When they were old. I mean, when Curry and LeBron get together, are we going to count if they don't make it? Like let's talk about that. So I'm just saying, like, he did that for 3 franchises in an era where there are goated big men. Kareem and Bill played with him, like played in the same league together.
What's his finals record?
I'm curious, probably the same as Jerry West, and he's the logo. So let's not shame black goats. So we have 3.
Oh my god!
so we have 3 big men that people act like Wilt was before them, and he was with them. So yes, I mean,
Wilt was never on Kareem's level.
No, you had one dude on the Lakers, bred with Magic, the other dude on the Celtics, bred with winners, and one dude just in the Warriors, hop into the 76ers, and then finally hops to the Lakers when he's like 52. Okay, so like let's stop acting like that Bill Russell didn't have 5 Hall of Fame teammates. Let's stop acting like Magic didn't have Kareem and didn't, you know what I mean? Like it didn't have work. Like, come on. So Wilt, now if we're talking about in totality, your tone changes. And you're like, because you're putting a lid on his Warriors career, but let's talk about totality. Let's talk about career, because Warriors career and Steph Curry's career is the same, but that's not the same for Wilt. So let's talk about that.
So if we're talking career
overall.
We can't talk overall yet because he has 4 more years, and we don't know.
Okay, let me ask you this: you think Steph's gonna win a ring?
I was just about to tell you, I don't know because if Clay comes back,
And
I don't
after,
know.
I mean,
I
Clay's
don't
gonna
know.
come back good, but he even said he's
I
not
don't think they
switching on
become
people.
championship. I don't think they make a championship, but I do think. I mean, they're a top 3 team.
Yeah, top three. I'm saying championship because for him to pass Wilt, he needs a championship and a Finals MVP.
Why
He
does he
doesn't
need
have it.
another championship? He already has more championships.
Of course, he has no Finals MVP, and that
So
always not
what? That never means anything.
that
How many Finals MVPs Magic got? That don't mean anything.
it does when you're talking about like the greatest. It does.
Warrior.
If
He's
he
the greatest
ends
warrior.
if he ends with no Finals MVPs and 3 rings, people he's never gonna be in like he's gonna be just
Kobe has
outside the
two
Magic.
finals. Kobe has 2 finals.
It makes you goaded. He was with Shaq, another phenom. Phenom. We get KD, but Iggy?
I know.
Mm.
I never understood that one. I'm
That was
just like
wild, but hey, it's
like the
there
Kawhi
now.
Leonard one. I know the Kawhi Leonard
Yeah,
one.
it's there now. So I think that keeps him out of the GOAT conversation. And if he ends his career with no, Finals MVP, he's never going to be in the likes of Magic and the likes of he's always going to be outside that 6, 7, 8 mark. Always.
Well, I think he gets number 10 in the top.
Who's your
10.
10? I'm not saying like in particular order. Just
All
give
right.
me 10.
Okay.
I ain't gonna debate your 10. I just want to hear.
Okay. No order. I'm just gonna go.
Go for it.
Michael, Magic, Kobe, LeBron, Larry, Hakeem, Shaq, Tim Duncan. Did I say Kareem?
You didn't.
Kareem. Did I say Magic?
You did.
I'm gonna go Oscar Robertson.
That's a good 10.
So it's tough to say who you knock out. Maybe Oscar Robertson. You know what I mean? Or maybe I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
Steph doesn't get top 10. Maybe, like I said, he could get 11, 12.
Steph will never get, top 10 for me because I hear all yours and then I still, I'm a Wilt lover.
I know it's very tough.
So it's like,
you could interchange Wilt and Oscar Robertson.
Exactly. And then that's to me is right there. And then you got Steph on the outside if I'm not thinking of a KD.
Yeah.
If KD don't win one to Brooklyn. So no, I agree. I agree.
God. Yeah. Well, I can't put KD in my top 10. He
Not-
would have
not
been
10,
if,
not
if
10.
Brooklyn wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, he would have been if that humble pie was like, okay, Curry, I will give you that one or over me, but whatever, he would have been greater than Curry. But here we are. But yeah, so that's my Wilt take. I thought it was a little short-sighted that they just did what you did, which is like, let's only look at the Warriors. And I'm like, no, he's gonna go down
It was
still.
about Warriors. They said who's the greatest Warrior.
Warrior, they said who had the greater career. But
Yeah.
in the Warrior, okay, well,
Yeah.
Steph's gonna be the greatest Warrior. He changed the face up for the Warriors for sure.
Okay.
He rejuvenated the Warriors. Nobody really remembers Wilt with the Warriors, like besides the 100.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay. Good. All right. So we got the Nuggets. Just real quick on the Nuggets. With him being out, do you think they plummet to a possible play-in, or do you think they sit around 5 or 6? We only got a handful of games left.
I don't think they plummet.
Okay.
I do think that however, that they don't. We have to see what they do in the first round of the playoffs.
Swept. If they play the Lakers, they're getting swept. If they got to play, let's see, say they drop to 7, they would play whoever wanted to play in.
Mhm.
I mean, that means they're either playing with the Warriors, Memphis, who's hot right now.
Memphis, if they play Memphis,
Mavericks.
they'll win.
Does Joker step up
He's gonna have
to be the MVP of the league? I think this is make or break as well.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
he steps up and gets 5 more points, it's crazy because he's almost averaging a triple-double.
Not even. How many points is he averaging? Do you know?
I think 26, 25.
Okay, I wouldn't say he needs 5 more points, but I would say he needs 5 more assists. He needs to be assisting the crap out of this ball. He needs to become the new PG, like from the front runner. That's why it's like that.
See, I need him at 30 points. I'm gonna keep it with you. I need him at 30.
Mm-mm.
I need him 30, 10, and 10, which is crazy to ask for. as the big man, but if he averaged 30 and 15, I think they sit right where they are. But
If he
Michael Porter now is going to look at everybody and say,
he needs. I mean, Michael Porter's their only hope for me. Aaron Gordon, I can see him taking more shots and not being a good
bricking
pan out
him.
for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bricking.
Um, yeah, I have to ask you something. Yeah. So, what's your final take on the Nuggets?
I think they actually either just stay at the 5 or go to the 6. I don't think they plummet.
Yeah, I don't think they plummet for the rest of the season. I agree with you. I think the playoffs is where we have to start worrying if Jokic doesn't slow down because they're gonna outrun him. My
He's
question
going to
for
get
you:
burnt.
barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
What about that Rondo effect?
Um,
You saw the last couple Paul George games,
I
right?
did. I
Okay,
did. And
cool.
Paul George is having a phenomenal season this year. He's shooting the lights out. He's playing really, really well with Kawhi.
Yeah,
I gotta agree. I know Lou isn't really making them like offensive geniuses, but he is getting better
I
shots
mean
this
Rondo.
year. No, this year than when Doc Rivers
Oh,
was the coach.
yeah. You
You
said Lou.
know, I did say Lou. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Sorry. Um, his shots, his shot selection, his them corner 3 balls he's taken, they're way better this year.
But Rondo,
I don't
those
care
last
though.
ever since the trade of Rondo, it's been 38, 36, 37, da da da.
I don't care.
Walking
I
like
need
he
to
the champ.
I need to see it
Like
in
he
the
the
playoffs.
champ.
I don't care about any of the regular season. If they don't blow through,
Yeah.
that's it. I need to see you stop hiding and not guarding the best player. And
I need to
I'm
see
like,
Kawhi guard the best player.
y'all are young. Like it's not like y'all like LeBron's age or like 35. I'm like,
I agree.
it's sickening. It's like,
I
come on
agree.
right now. You're supposed to be a 2-way player, but you only guard them at moments.
In the moment you get washed.
And you get washed.
Like you can't. And Kawhi, you
Letting
can't
Patrick
be.
Beverly guard Luca, and then he strokes his ass, and then we're like, oh,
Yeah, these dudes are getting washed. So no, I agree with you. Not that big of a deal, but I would say it is adding to Paul George's confidence right now. If they
yes,
get
his
on a
confidence
run
is through the roof.
going into the playoffs, all we need is to have like I'm a Clippers fan, I'm a Rondo fan, but all we need if
Big
Rondo
Boogie.
gets 3, Chris Paul can never talk to him.
Chris Paul. Well, actually, I have Chris Paul on my hot take. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you want to just jump right to it, we can.
If it's not this one, who's a better overall point guard all time? Who would you take, Chris Paul or Rondo?
Chris Paul.
Not me.
I'm always taking outside of Magic Johnson. I don't know if you want to have it because it's on one of my hot takes, and it's a hot take, like serving up. Like,
Go, give it to me. Give it to me. I can't wait. Go for it.
The Chris Paul effect
Okay.
is greater than the Rajon Rondo effect. Chris Paul elevates every single team he goes to and still puts up numbers. Rondo goes there, brings leadership, but doesn't bring numbers. Okay. Now, the thing that I'm saying is Magic is always going to go down as the greatest. I think potentially the third or number 2 will be Chris Paul.
Say that again.
The second or third greatest point guard of all time will be Chris Paul. Second or third. Because I know people have John Stockton really, really high, but he's a loser.
No, I mean I'm a okay, so here's the thing. I'm not gonna act like I didn't live in the land where Rondo gave LA buckets, where he was dropping 50 pieces in the playoffs. Yeah, I remember when he dropped, not against LA, but I remember on his route, nobody else balling. This dude dropping 50 pieces, 40 pieces, 30 pieces. When people were like, Rondo's right before the game, Rondo's jump shot is broken. You want me to pull up the stats? Let me pull it up.
Yeah, I want to know when Rondo dropped 50. Because I must have been in a coma.
All right, hold on. So this one don't count, but it was what? It was a 44 at the Heat on the 5th.
50.
Yeah, I mean that's close. Was that six shy?
Here you go again.
That's
This is what you did
45.
with Blake
That's
Griffin, bro.
44 that's 44, six shy, 530. Yeah, that was 2012. Hold on. I got some more, man. Rondo's goated, bro. Don't give me this. Anyways, hold on. Yeah.
How many Hall of Famers did he play with on that Boston team,
Yo, don't give me that, bro.
including the coach?
Don't give me that.
How many Hall of Famers Chris Paul ever played with?
Man, a lot, man. A lot. So like everybody just mad at the
Name
veto
one.
trade.
I want
They
you to
just mad
name
at the
one.
veto. One Hall of Famer that Chris Paul played with. James Harden.
You gonna say 1 year that's gonna count?
I was naming the Hall of Famer.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
naming the couple seasons of a run that he had.
Okay. Okay. Go
Um,
ahead.
I mean,
guess that's one. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, so anyways, he had a Hall of Fame coach. So let me get back. Let me get back to what?
D'Antoni?
Yeah, no. I was talking about Doc when they were supposed to take Lob City on.
Yeah, he did. He did.
So I can't with the pieces around him. So I think Chris Paul had the advantages, not as much as Rondo had,
okay.
but Rondo did step up to the plate. Rondo ain't no scrub. Rondo has,
No.
Rondo is in this conversation. I would take Rondo over Chris Paul, and I think if he locks this last ring with the Clippers, I don't want to hear Chris Paul name out of anybody's mouth. But even right now, if Chris Paul ends up without a ring, and so does Russell Westbrook, I'm sitting here kind of like debating who would I put over. I still might put Russ over Chris Paul. Me.
It's tough, yeah. It's tough.
So then what are we talking? Then Rondo's for sure somewhere.
Well, you still have, I mean, I think neither one of them would go over Oscar Robertson. I got Oscar Robertson.
People might put Russ over him.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. It's like even Hall of Famers are thinking about putting Russ over him just because Russ is going to finish with a ridiculous amount of triple doubles. Ridiculous.
He already got all the Wizards. I'm like, bro, chill out.
I know.
Chill out,
so
bro.
What are we talking about here? You know what I mean? This stat pattern at the end of the career, but hey, I'm here for it.
It's still tough. It's still tough.
Yeah, it's still tough. All right, so that was your hot take.
That was my hot take. You know what? Let me just give you all the hot take. Let's just
Give it to
jump
me.
straight to the knee jerks right now.
All right.
Joel Embiid talking crazy out his mouth. Let me look into the camera. This man said he can move like KD and is that dominant as Shaquille O'Neal. And I know the younger generation see Shaq on TV, on TNT, see him on these icy hot commercials. They don't know that this man was, if you look up the definition in Webster Dictionary, dominant, there was a picture of him.
And he perfected the domination. It's not
double teamed him.
It's not what Embiid's doing, which is just like pick pop. Maybe I'm out and then I'll dominate when I'm inside. Shaq said, I'm only inside. Come in here if you want some. Every game. And there's nothing you can do about that. And to put the viewers on, he does not move like KD. He moves more like Hakeem Olajuwon's student.
Yeah.
That's what he moves like. And I'm not trying to boost it, and because Embiid is a freak of nature. I think he didn't start playing ball till like his junior year.
Like 16, 17.
Yeah, like crazy, which means he's very gifted. But in that, which means you lack a lot of other things that he tried to focus on, which it takes a gifted man to learn to step back, to learn these new game moves. I get it. To learn the shimmy, to learn those post moves. But Shaq only focused on one thing because his dad, his stepdad told him to. You know what I mean? So it's just
without making free throws. Imagine averaging over 30 in the playoffs without making free throws. That's unheard of.
So Joel Embiid said that craziness. But what do you feel about Ben Simmons keep saying, I'm the defensive player of the year every time he's a mic in front of his face?
If he's trying to put the NBA on notice or trying to stamp respect on his own name. You know what I mean? Like, look, give me my respect. And I think that's what he's trying to do. I think now you yourself have been talking about that 12 episodes ago.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I didn't necessarily disagree with you. I just had other people, but you've been saying that. And Ben Simmons felt like that. And I think Doc Rivers put him in the position like Rondo to really say, look, we only succeed if you can facilitate, do what you do, and play the best defense.
I
So
think
he
I,
wins the defensive player of the year. Yes.
I think that's the point. I think the point is he has a veteran coach for the first time in his career, and this veteran coach is telling him, "Hey, you know what the media and these vote getters love? For you to get in front of the mic and tell them who you are. Like for you to say, everything is, whatever Kevin Garnett screamed. You know what I mean? It's like for you to be that dramatic, for you to be Paul Pierce and talk the truth, for you to do that stuff. And I see that in Ben. I don't know if I like it because some of the stuff he talking crazy, like
A little bit.
I'm just like, Gobert is literally a stifled tower. Like you expect him to come out to the 3-point line.
That's what
And
I'm saying.
and we have to look
What did he say? I
really
gave him 42. Like, come on, bro.
come on, bro. Shoot a three. Give him 42 on 5 threes and
Right.
call me.
Right.
Or like it's just a different the way he's talking is more like I don't know if it's delusional. Granted, he's 6'10. He's an NBA player but I have to look really hard at his efficiency to see to validate his defensive player of the year. Which I don't know
Yeah,
if
for
we
sure.
had to do with Ron Artest or um, Ben Wallace or Gary Payton. I don't know if we had to look really hard into how many points did they hold him under. It was just there on the eye,
True.
So I think that's even a stretch in itself. So calm down, Ben. I was going to give it to you and I still am, but calm
Right.
down.
And that goes to a side point of that conversation. We're in a different time now where
Hmm.
people feel like they have to self-proclaim them
Well, because they do.
as do they though? Because if we go back, I never heard Kobe say, I'm the best offensive player in the league. I mean, I know LeBron said I'm the best player ever, but
Yeah.
Tony Allen didn't think he was the best defender until after he retired.
No, I agree,
He did
but
say it in a game, but these people don't like,
I agree with KD and kind of what Bill are saying. Like in that time, it was more, hey, we're on the park. Like when my first rookie game of the NBA, I'm seeing who I can bust. I'm seeing who I can. We've been going about 5 seasons where these new players have just been quiet, just quiet, hush,
yeah,
hush, and they just watched The Last Dance. Kobe just RIP passed away.
yeah,
They're now getting that like ignition
little
that they should
dog.
have already had. Like Tatum finally just dropped a 50 piece. Like this is stuff that me and you have been waiting for. Like where's
Yeah,
that dog at that like KD said it on a pod like that somebody came up to him, a rookie, and was talking to him. And he said, I mean, that's cool and all. And I'll talk to you after the game. But it used to be like, yo, this is the part. You showing up to ball, like you not on my team. Like
right.
I don't
All the
know
time.
you, and I'll
Yeah,
meet you at the end of the game, Rook. But it's not like that. They're happy they're part of the fraternity from jump. Start acting a
right.
little swaggy, start being quiet, and then realize no, not even like the fans want that dog. You need it
Yeah, you
to
do need
to
it.
perform on a daily basis. So yeah, that's what I think.
Okay. My next hot topic for you, which is a really good one, does Victor Oladipo get a max contract this offseason?
I saw something flying in the headlines that they were gonna that I think it was Heat fans because I used to be in Florida, so I follow a lot of friends that follow Heat fan accounts, and it said something like off-season acquisition moves for the Heat. So signed somebody in free agency. I forgot who it was, and signed Oladipo for the cheap.
Yeah.
And if they think they're getting Oladipo for the cheap, they got Oladipo messed up, all the way messed up. Um,
So you think he gets max or you think he gets like a Fred Van Fleet contract?
I I think the Heat get left with their hands in the palm of their hand again because this is what's going to happen. Oladipo's going to hold out till they sign him. They're not going to sign him. The other signee is not signing until they have Oladipo, Butler, and Bam. And they're not going to have enough money for that. And Pat Riley's going to be cheap. So they're going to be stuck with Bam and Jimmy again. That's what's going to happen because Oladipo's going to walk.
I think so
He'll,
too.
he'll, he'll go to OKC again before he signs the Heat for less than a max.
But does somebody give him the max contract with this new lingering knee injury?
Somebody gives him $60 million for 4 years.
Oof. Or does he become Boogie?
He doesn't become Boogie. Boogie's only Boogie because he had 2 back-to-back injuries. Oladipo was forcing his trade to Miami.
He's a back-to-back injury as well.
He
injured
is, but
last year, and now
he's
this he injured his knee on a regular dunk. I'm like,
he's
this man was by himself. I'm like, hold on.
he's younger than Boogie was, and he's lighter than
Yes,
Boogie was.
yes, he's way younger, lighter. So
So
you say Max, okay?
yeah,
Um, my last knee jerk. Do you have an issue? We talked about this a long time ago. Do you have an issue with Kyrie? This is tough because
we
I
haven't talked
love
about this,
Kyrie.
have we?
I I understand the personal reason being for the Minneapolis incident. Sure, I get that. I think I'm having an issue now looking at the games that he's missed. They haven't been like for injury, they've been personal
Let
step
me pause. Let
away.
me pause this for you because this brings me. I'll answer your question right after you answer mine of how do you feel about the Schroeder and Kyrie interaction where he got mad at Schroeder for calling him the N word. Because I have hot takes.
So I guess my issue is Schroeder did say, okay, my bad. Okay, move on.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, it's simple as that. But he was getting his ass bust. Schroeder was
Mm-hmm.
busting that ass, and the Lakers as a whole
Mm-hmm.
was busting that ass. So after he said that to him, okay, now Kyrie is on it. Kyrie has said it before himself.
Mm-hmm.
We all said it before. Well,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not all of us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But when he said, okay, my bad, bro, Kyrie still came and got in his face.
Mm-hmm.
Back up. Okay. That's it. Let it go. You're still gonna get your ass buzzed, but you were a
Mm-hmm.
little embarrassed. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I'm a little bothered by it. I just hate fake wokeness for fake wokeness. Just because my wife, for all public service announcements, is full-blooded Native American, which is what Kyrie's mom was, and all that stuff. And I'm full black, so here we go. Seeing that was wild to me, just because the altercation came when he got in Schroeder's face, and that's when Schroeder said the word, like, "Hey, bro, back up."
Back up.
Mind you, this is the NBA, a league off of just hood dudes. Every practice, every game, that is said. Every practice, every game, that is said. Now, I get it's rubbing you the wrong way. I get all that stuff. But then if we want to be specific, you were born in Australia. So who's speaking? This who's talking about this? And just like you were saying, you were getting beat. You were getting waxed. You were on wax.
There's
But
no difference
and I
from
get
playing
it.
at the park
I
and
get
somebody
figuring
busting your
yourself out.
ass.
I get figuring yourself out. But you know what you're doing when you make a tweet saying that and challenging the whole black community to make your stance off of that moment when you are Australian.
It
You're an
seems really full blown Australian
he's an
though.
Australian citizen. So either you're picking and choosing, or you know what I mean? Like you can't be an Australian citizen. I mean, you can be, and you can be black, and you can, you know what I'm saying? But like still and yet, show Ken Schroeder be a black man, knowing the plight. He's a black man in America.
He's
So
from another country as well.
exactly. So now I'm confused. And then if you're trying to understand your blackness, I get that. But then the tweet and all this stuff, like it's just semantics to me. And that's what brings me to your first point, which is that's the personal reasons. Because
But I think now, in the beginning, I didn't have a problem as
let me
much, but I'm
hold on.
having a problem now.
Philly got booed. Not Philly. Durant got booed in Philly tonight.
Yeah.
So if I'm in Philly, what am I yelling at Kyrie? If I'm black.
Yeah. That's how it used to be. Yeah.
And if I know that Philly got fans there, which if I'm an NBA player, I know Philly got 30% capacity.
Right.
Guess where I'm going? Home. I
Yeah.
ain't playing. Which I don't know if he played in Philly or not. He probably
Wait
did.
till he play Utah.
So I think he just stirred his own. But I mean, that's sometimes what you get when you speak out of emotion before really thinking about your placement and his placement, because they have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like, that's where I was confused and upset by the fake wokeness. So it just got me hot in the sense. But
so the second part of that, do you think now that he's missed a lot of games, do you think come playoff time, chemistry actually becomes a true issue?
yeah.
Because, I know they're all great talents, and Any you put any great players together during the regular season, they all gonna shine.
Yeah,
Always. But when it comes in the regular, what happens if Kyrie says, look, I'm not really feeling this next game. I'm sitting out.
that's not gonna happen. But it just reminds me of that like meme. It's like if you come around these parts, you're gonna get caught because they about to get caught by a Bucks team, a Philly team, and Tatum if he gets hot. So those teams are coming, and I think that Phil because here's the issue. I want to see what it looks like when this fourth quarter, KD, Harden, and Kyrie are looking up at the box score, and Giannis got 40 and 20, and they all got 17 apiece. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Because somebody's going to end up with 50 and 25, which is Giannis, and one of them are going to try to go for it to match his score so the headline can read. And unless it's KD, you're not going to win.
I agree. KD is proven. I know Kyrie is proven, but it's been a long time.
KD's walking efficiency.
Yes, walking.
He's played 70 minutes. He's played 70 minutes and made 70 buckets. 70 points.
That's crazy to say out loud. That's absolutely crazy.
Like he's literally a walking bucket, and he was that when he went to Golden State. So he's been that. And imagine you can't use your leg and all you're doing is shooting with an easy money sniper like that. So yeah, he's crazy. He's crazy, and but they need to get him the ball. But that's what Harden knows what he's got to do. Kyrie don't, but Harden do. I just want to see if Drew lock up Kyrie in the playoffs, and if you don't think he'll give him a tough time.
No.
Kyrie,
I think he'll give him.
Yeah, Kyrie's done some playoff games where he just left with 17 points and like 6
Kyrie's
assists.
Gonna get his, but we interested. All right, give me your hot takes. You got any knee jerkers?
Man, I done rebutted all yours with mine.
Yeah, you did.
So mine is really about like standings.
Okay.
I really want to get yours. Who's one? Here's my knee jerk. Do you think the play-in will stay, and do you think it's a good idea?
Oof, don't think it's a good idea. I was against it originally. I thought it was a money grab a little bit to keep interest in the first round of the playoffs. Because a lot of times the NBA doesn't get their greatest revenue and audience until playoff season.
Mm-hmm.
But the league for a brief moment was watered down with the Warriors, with Cleveland, you know what I mean? Or LA,
which is crazy to say Cleveland.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But now you're going to play in, you keep these 8, 9, 10 small market teams still watching basketball. People who are like Wizards fans or say like Hornets fans, they may not watch it after the playoffs. They have no reason to. They're watching college to see who's coming out the draft.
Yeah.
So I think they keep it. I actually like it now. After last year, if this wasn't in the bubble, if this was back in arenas and Memphis was playing back home, Ja looked good last year. Say they're back in Memphis. You know what I mean? Like, I like it.
This is my only quorum with it is I'm seeing risings from the coaches, the organizations, saying that because of these injuries, usually they would be slowing players down, but because you're casting the net for pretty much 12 through 1, it's ramping up their minutes, i.e. Jamal Murray, i.e. certain people trying to seed better that are younger in this shortened season. So it's odd that they would do the play-in, again this year, when this season is shortened and different, which might impact. It all comes on to voting. And if the players don't vote on it, if the organization doesn't vote on it, it don't go again.
Right.
So I enjoy it too from a fan standpoint, but from a
next year when fans are there,
it would be lit if they don't cancel it by next year.
Right.
Because if there's 6 people in the IR only ramping up to get back for that, they're gonna see how this plays out. And if I'm a 10 seed, I'm still don't care about the play-in. Maybe.
And I think the play-in only looks good in the West. If as crazy as that sounds, because
the East gonna get waxed.
It's not going to be that entertaining. I don't really want to see Atlanta.
Even last year, they the way they did it, and I don't want to see that again. I get that they did it as far as like who's ever in this percentage of wins, but there was more West games than there was East games, and I didn't like that.
Look
It
at
was like,
Phoenix last year was
I
that
mean, yeah,
was
great, but I mean for equality standpoint, if we're gonna do that, I do want to see a Pistons overtake somebody then randomly. If you want to do that,
right.
like don't play it safe for the East and then put Ja and Zion against each other. Nah, give me the Pistons against whoever you think is a shoe in, and let me see them wax them for one game.
Yeah.
So that's my only issue. Make it like March Madness then, if you really want it.
So if they make it like March Madness, originally they had talked about there were rumblings about them potentially doing a 1 through 16 and just loser plays 16 plays one, 15
Yes.
plays two,
Mm-hmm.
which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Making when you get to the playoffs, there's no conferences. But
Yeah.
then I know with travel, they're trying to
Yeah.
cut down on that. I get that. But I think that's the way to go instead of the play in.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You get a game, you get the March, and that's why people love March Madness because
Mm-hmm.
you get a 16 seed, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. My question for you, my last question is the LA question. Lakers are fifth right now. Where do they end?
Great 2 wins, brother man.
Where do they end
That
up?
Brooklyn game was a good win. And last night's game, my boy Kuzma came through.
Kuzma, Caruso.
You know what I mean? The injury bug is killing us.
It
Bro,
is.
we had 7 people injured. Like,
Are you worried about chemistry?
no. When you got LeBron James, chemistry is never an issue.
I agree.
Like you said, AD's coming back next week.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron's probably gonna come back the following week.
Yeah, or a couple of days after.
A couple of days after, and he'll rev it up a little bit, and we'll see. Only thing I guess I'm worried about a little bit with LeBron is endurance, because when you have a ankle or foot injury, there is no running, there is no walking on the treadmill, so you don't have a way to actually keep your lungs going, and he's been out 3 weeks. What, 3 weeks now? You know what I mean?
And I know he keeps his body in shape, but he also
his body will be in shape. His body will be in shape,
Yeah.
but that cardiovascular is gonna be an issue because he's gonna have to play ramped up.
Magic said it ain't gonna be no issue, bro.
Pretty much, Magic said, "Look, shut your ass up. No issue." I think that's my issue. What you think? You think issue? No issue?
I think chemistry is going to be a little bit of an issue because Drummond's already apologizing for not being as offensively effective as he should be, which means that somebody's already in his head rent free. And some players can't play with LeBron and be a third star. And I think with LeBron stardom and AD stardom, that pushes Drummond into a role player, which it should push him into the Kevin Love role or the Bosh role, but it doesn't. So I think we have to worry about chemistry because if Braun had more reps with him with AD out, his mental will be up. His mental would be sky high, but it's not right now. If they come back at the same, they're going to be sharing and splitting. And unless AD goes out again for rest, then he can really feed Drummond.
Well, Morris said he wants more minutes as well. It's that our roster is so tough because everybody feels like they're a starter.
And everybody's a wing.
Starter. I don't care if you played a starter in Detroit.
Yeah.
Know your role, brother, man.
Well, you mean that Laker fan base is something different when you start feeling that buzz being in the city and you're Caruso and you can walk on the street and you feel like you're Steve Blake.
Can you give THT some love now? That brother is having a great year.
No, I won't give him love till he do me something crazy in the playoffs.
Last year, he played in the playoffs and played
really well. Nobody in the bubble counts. Nobody in the bubble. That ring don't even count to me.
Magic. Oh, so this was great. Yeah. All right, so episode 13. What we got to look for episode 14. I think by the time next week comes, I think Embiid is going to be the bona fide MVP. His numbers right now, he is dominating, bro. He is absolutely dominating. So I think he runs away with that. I think Brooklyn drops to the 3 seed, and I think the Bucks end up taking the 2. They're being really slick with that Giannis injury. rest him. You see what they doing? They resting that man.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't getting any rest.
Yeah.
He's having a great year. We talked
Mm-hmm.
about him. He was
Yeah.
having a phenomenal
He's
year.
balling. Yeah. I think Bucks are dark horses right now. They're just
Which is
telling all
a good position for them.
great position for them. I disagree with your Embiid take only because Scary Hour is going to come back and Harden or KD are going to shake those dust off and tip the scales of the media writers to be like, I don't know. And that's dragging votes away. And so with Braun splitting the votes when he comes back, Embiid
Oh,
splitting the
Bron's
votes,
out. Bron's out.
Jokic trying to see what he's doing. I know Braun's out, but you got Nick Wright who's trying to be a voter. If he ever votes, he's going to vote for Braun every time.
That's why I don't watch Nick Wright.
I know. Like I can't just take total biasness. Like give me a little bit.
Give me a little bit.
Last hot take before we leave.
Okay.
We know KD and Michael Rappaport, but I have to talk about the KD and Shannon Sharp beef. I don't know if you saw that. I assume you do. You love Shannon.
Yeah.
My short take on that, and I would love to hear yours, is Shannon tried to take the high road because he just saw what Michael Rappaport did. So he was taking the old man route of like, oh, let me block him before this gets too bad. But I mean, here's the thing. Just KD's not a menace. This is Twitter. If you guys want to talk it, talk it. He wasn't saying nothing disrespectful. Don't act like this is always going to turn into something. Don't say stuff if you can't back it up, and don't go block somebody if they're not acting wild. And KD doesn't act wild anymore. It was just to Rappaport. And Rappaport saw what that got him by just going against every code known to mankind. But what's your feeling on the Shannon and KD little, small ruffle?
I think I have a little issue with people have and Shannon act like he respects KD, but he doesn't. He doesn't respect any of his rings. He acts like KD isn't on the same level as LeBron.
Yeah.
And, obviously we know that KD watches their show.
Yes.
He may not watch it all the way, but, he gets tidbits or whatever. It comes to a point where we have to know in this world, people can stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
If they don't like what you say, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But people want to say what they want to say and feel like you can't say nothing back.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do say something back, oh, you're soft.
Even if it's not disrespectful. Like, it's just like, yo, no, clarify what you're saying because that was fake. Oh, you blocked me now? You can't clarify?
You know what I mean? I don't like that. And I do love Shannon. I love KD.
Yeah.
But I lately I've been on KD's side because, KD, sometimes he be going at fans and I don't mind it. I like it. It's the same shit Russell Westbrook do. He go back at fans. We all humans.
Yes. If you can say it, just know who you talk, like just say it to me and let me just be ready for the rebuttal. Right. Now, if you can't handle it and you forgot I was 7 foot tall and you forgot that I was actually a skilled basketball player and I know what I'm talking about, then don't act immature or try to take the high route when it didn't even go there. I hate that too. So I saw that and I thought of you because you were Shannon Stan.
But look at Stephen A. and Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? Stephen A. He kills Kyrie. Now he backpedaling on Kyrie. And I love Stephen A. He killed Russell Westbrook. But when they rebuttal, it's like, look, I understand what you said. I understand what your wife said to me, but you need a ring. What? Not everybody gets a ring.
Yeah, you need a ring, but we dog people when they do this net stuff. Like when the Nets join up, KD do the KD stuff, they can't win, but he need a ring. But you wouldn't dare say that to Charles. And what if Westbrook ended up being better than Charles?
Which I would take Russell Westbrook over Charles Barkley.
That's what I'm. Then you talking about Chris Paul. That's what Chris Paul, Russ. That's what I'm saying. Like, forget Rondo. Like Russ gonna be a phenom.
True. But all right, last one. Chris Webber deserved to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
No. I dislike Chris Webber so much, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. I don't like him as a commentator. I don't like listening to him talk. I feel like he don't know basketball. I know he knows basketball,
of course,
but talking it,
I think he gets his feelings hurt too much. I think he definitely is a figure in this league, and he's definitely a staple in this league. And
maybe not this ballot, maybe the next ballot.
Yeah, I think overall he should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't care. I think he's done a lot of just stuff that he's never really owned up to or never was clear about. So it's just like, okay, if you have done much, whatever, just wait as long as this ballot's gonna take. But
Yeah,
you,
kind of like the whole T.O. T.O. didn't get in the Hall of Fame first ballot. Take your time.
yeah.
You'll get in there.
So that's how I feel. I think Chris Webber should get in there. Um, but and I think Ron Artest should be in there. I mean, I think is Ben Wallace in there?
Ben Wallace.
He's not in there yet, right?
No.
He a Virginia man. So I'm really upset about that. So there's a couple of people that I think should be up there before Chris Webber. I'm like, put my dude Ben Wallace in there. Look at his stats. He was dominant
easily
for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. Exactly.
Yeah, just like holding Shaq down
Yeah.
at 6'6", 6'8". Like, what are we talking about?
And stop the Lakers from getting another ring. Even though Shaq had a great stat line that finals.
Of course.
Out a couple of games, but because of Ben.
That's what I'm saying. So, I agree.
All right, so that's it. We out here. Episode 13. Gang, Big Dog Talk. Like and subscribe to the channel. We out.
Peace.